This is our two-car 1950s garage. If garages could talk, this one would say, "Please help." 75 years of nails and screws, 5 shades of wood, shelves added by who knows who, and drywall patches that tell a story we don't even want to hear. We didn't want to renovate it. We didn't want to tear it down. No major construction. We just wanted it to feel clean, cohesive, like it actually belongs with our 1950s ranch home. And we gave ourselves 4 weeks to figure it out.
It hasn't really changed much since it was built. Maybe the drywall was painted once or twice. It has survived 75 years of use, and it still looks pretty original and old school. We have lived here for 5 years, and while we do a major cleaning and reorganizing a couple times a year, actually doing something seemed too overwhelming. But it seemed it had been 50 years of deciding we will deal with it later, and 5 years for us, but it was time to deal with it. So I am a visual decider. I like to see the options, maybe some I hadn't thought of. And so we asked AI for some renders and some ideas. I gave it a picture of the garage and told ChatGPT that we didn't want a renovation, just a makeover, like putting lipstick on a pig, that it needed to be budget friendly and we were willing to put some work into it. And Chat gave me 3 lipstick options.
Its first option was to paint everything warm white. The walls, the ceilings, the doors, even the wood. If we were wanting clean and cohesive, this seemed like a great option. Its second option was to go rich and moody, taupe walls with stained wood. We kind of like this, the old school feeling, to match our 1950s ranch. But the work this would take in prepping the wood and even trying to get it all to match seemed too overwhelming. The third option was to paint the drywall and whitewash the paneling to keep the grain but soften the tones. This seemed like a mess waiting to happen, and for the glossy wood to take the whitewash probably would have been as much work as the staining idea.
Since we didn't want to spend the rest of our lives sanding every square inch of the garage, we decided to go with option 1, just painting everything white. Honestly, painting such a big space seemed a bit overwhelming and out of our league. Neither of us had ever used a paint sprayer, and painting it by rolling seemed too much for us. I called a couple painting companies for quotes. It was a lot, between $3,000 and $5,000. But as I looked through the bids, I noticed much of the cost was coming in the prep work, the moving stuff, the cleaning, the filling nail and screw holes, and patching the drywall. So I asked the painter if we emptied the garage and did all the prep work like they wanted it done, how much would it cost? It cut the price in half. We were all in. The painter gave us pointers on getting everything ready, and we hired them to return in 1 month. I went back to ChatGPT with the information and asked it to create a timeline and checklist that we could break down the project into manageable chunks.
Week 1 was all about clearing everything out, decluttering years of storage totes and garage stuff, removing shelves and nails and screws.
took a lot of stuff to the shed, a lot to our local donation center, the recycling center, and the trash. The totes we moved into our dining room. After the garage was empty, I began going through them one by one. Decluttering. We went from 31 totes down to 20. Somewhere in the boxes, or baskets, or totes was living a family of mice. We think a mom and 3 babies. They scattered throughout the house, and we spent a week trying to catch them all. We even caught one in a no-kill trap, and Jeff went on the front porch to let it go. And when he opened the door to come back in, the mouse ran back into the house and had to be caught again. It was quite a fiasco, so we stacked all the totes back in the garage after they had been decluttered. And while I was doing that, Jeff was doing the rest of the checklist in the garage, removing all the hardware and shelving and cutting out a water-damaged section of wood.
Week 2 was the least glamorous, but maybe the most important. Dusting, degreasing, scrubbing every inch of wood and drywall. We got so much dirt and grime off the walls it was motivating us to keep going.
Week 3 was repairs, filling nail holes, patching drywall, filling the space between the wood panels, sanding everything smooth. We wanted the paint to look as good as it could. This is the kind of work no one notices unless you don't do it.
And with everything done, it already looked and smelled 1,000 times better. And we had done as much as we could do, so we went on a short vacation to New Orleans. It was fun and relaxing, and we were happy to leave the garage behind after spending the last 3 weeks in it.
We returned just in time, and the next morning the painter was scheduled to arrive. We got up before the sun rose and began emptying out the garage, getting all the dust out, and cleaning and power washing the garage door so they could paint that too. The painter arrived right on time and began masking and taping everything off. As I was leaving for work, he shut the garage door on our old school garage, and when I arrived back home, it was all completely white, fresh, and new. He used a high-quality bonding primer and high-quality paint, and it looked great.
We're not in our 30s anymore, not even our 40s. We feel it the next morning. But what we have learned is this: you don't have to move fast to move forward. Breaking this into 4 manageable weeks is the only reason we finish. Big projects don't require big energy. They require small, consistent effort, and honestly, that feels pretty good at this stage of life.
We didn't renovate, we didn't tear anything down. We just cleaned, decluttered, repaired, and stuck with it, and knew to call in the professional for what was out of our league. Now when the garage door rolls up, we don't cringe, we smile, and that might be the best upgrade of all.